Thanks for being here. Rosalba Dominguez is on, Councilwoman Dominguez is on the line. Welcome, Rosalba. Just make sure you're there.
Sorry about that. Thank you. I'm here.
Awesome. Welcome, everyone. We're glad to have you here today and those that are attending. We'll begin the council meeting with, I'm looking for minutes. There's no minutes, huh? Yep.
Yes.
Where are they?
Item number 1.
Thank you. I'm just looking at this and I'm not seeing them. Isn't that interesting?
Are you on the RDA?
I am, and I don't know why I'm not seeing those, so I'm going to go to the other one I have. Here we go. Okay, so we have approval of minutes for January 21st, 2020. Any questions or comments on those? And if not, then we'll ask for a motion.
Move to approve. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, next we have citizen comments. So we'll open that up for anyone that has any comments. 3 minutes apiece. Anyone here for any comments? Okay, close that part and move on to number 3, discussion on a license and easement agreement between the Redevelopment Agency of Utah and Vancon Incorporated for construction staging at 4800 South State Street.
I've got that.
You've got that, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, you all are aware that the water line project between 4500 South and 5300 South will be underway here soon. We've been talking about that in the other meetings. We have been approached by Vancon, who is the contractor on that project, to use the property, the vacant property at 4800 South and State for a staging area for their pipes and so forth during this project. And so we have agreed to do that, but wanted to bring it to the board, since it's on RDA property, to see if there is any objection from any of the board members to us doing that. They'll pay a nominal fee for use of it.
Good.
Yeah, I'm good.
No concerns. Fine.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Melinda, for project updates.
Okay. First, I wanted to let you know, if you maybe weren't informed already, but we had the demolition for the downtown area. We had the demolition bids come back on Thursday, and the low bid was $160,000. So there's quite a spread. The high bid was $411,000. So we have been checking their references, and everything is looking good. So we'll be working with procurement and the attorney's office to finalize the contract and get the demolition underway.
How many bids did you get?
We received 4 total.
Wow.
So yeah, it was the ones right around 160. It was about 248 was the next one, and then I think 360 and 411.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. The contractor who did win, the business name is Perez. They've done a lot of work with Ogden City and a few other entities, and been happy with them. So the fire station 81 subdivision plat was recorded last week. So we now will have that south parcel fully dedicated with a property address that we can move forward with Think Architecture to get a development agreement put together with them. And hopefully that's something we'll be bringing to the RDA board within the next couple of months. The city actually is working on an agreement to have the road over in Fireclay, that 4250 South, to have the road constructed. And I think we're in the final stages of edits with with Starwood and the city on getting that agreement put together. The agreement will be with the city, not the RDA, since the city will be constructing the road. But you'll recall that's the $200,000 that was set aside from the TIF payments going back a couple of years to be used to help with the parking remediation over there in Fireclay. We have need to still meet back with the ore sampling mill. Since our last meeting, we haven't been able to get together with them, but we'll circle back with them. We have some additional questions that we're wanting to ask of them, their project, and then hopefully that will bring some more definite answers on that to the board in the next couple of months as well. American Tower, we are still awaiting signatures on that. It feels like we're just on the cusp of having that signed, but it's felt like that for the last 3 months. So had a conversation with them on Monday. They've been given additional information even as recent as last week on Monday, and we just continue to cross our fingers that that gets signed and we can move forward with all the other elements that need to be, that are waiting for that item to be signed. The other thing I wanted to update you on was the RFP for the property here at 4800 South State Street. We're in the final stages of that. So we are on track for getting that out public, I think, April 1st. I'll be able to get a final draft, hopefully to you, the RDA board, by the end of the week, hopefully beginning of next week at the very latest. But we're going to send that to you just so you'll be aware of what's in there. If you have any questions about it, any concerns, you can let us know. And we'll communicate that through the attorney's office, so it'll be protected by attorney-client privilege. So we don't want that to get out to the public before it's actually open. So, but it's coming together really well. We have, we've spent quite a bit of time and effort on it, and I think you'll be pleased with that. So look for that coming from the attorney's office, as I said, later this week, or worst case scenario, beginning of next week.
Good. That'd be great.
Anything else, Melinda? Any questions for Melinda?
Just one. On that demolition, there's such a spread between even the acceptable bid and the next one. Make sure all the T's are crossed. Not saying anything about the contractor, but that's a large spread for a contractor. So
It is.
yeah, make sure they haven't missed something on the bid.
We have, when we've done the reference check, we have asked about change orders, and that has not been a concern from the 5 entities that we've contacted so far. So it seems like they just have a leaner operation, and so, but we had similar concerns, and we'll hopefully not have any issues with that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead, Rosalba.
So with the RFP coming out, I know you guys are drafting that now. Is that something that if we as a council have questions on with from the RDA board, that we then give those recommendations to GL, or how is that process?
Yeah,
I guess I'm
exactly.
just wanting to understand what the process of the RFP is and what our role as a board is with that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So considering that it's a draft, it's confidential anyway, but we want to just take that extra measure of having the attorney-client privilege, so that it's just more precaution with having that get out to the public. To protect that attorney-client privilege, we would want you to communicate any concerns or comments back through the attorney's office, and then they can communicate that back to the mayor and I to see if, we can get answers back to you or make changes or whatever. So when we communicate or when we distribute that to you, we'll have some type of a process in there and a deadline of to how you can get comments back to us.
Does that answer your question, Rosalba?
Yeah, that does answer my question.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Yes, I have a question about the ore sampling site. I know I always have a question about the ore sampling site, but it just looks so odd. I mean, it just looks like it's just a skeleton. And they want us to provide some funding, or tell me where we're at with that, because I mean, they've obviously got it to where they want it, and I don't see anyone else buying it. So I'm confused about that.
Yeah, I think that we're going to have to ask ourselves some really tough questions as the RDA board. You guys are going to have to make some tough decisions. We've been in communication with the state. We received some additional information with the method of cleanup that the ore sampling mill property owners are proposing, and we want to just make sure that we completely understand that. So when we bring that to the board, we can comprehend what risks there may be with that, what challenges there may be with that. But the last request we had from them, they were essentially saying, we'd like for you, the RDA board, to commit all of the TIF funds that our project would generate so that they could be compensated for the extra cleanup costs to develop the site. We still haven't really defined, and that's another thing why we haven't met with them, but we need to determine how much increment their particular project may generate and see if that may cover the costs that they're estimating all total between $2 and $2.5 million to clean the site up. And so that's a huge development impediment. And if their project site doesn't contribute the full $2.5 million, $2 million, they've asked that we consider contributing increment from the rest of the project area to their project, which brings a lot of questions about if other areas in the project area boundaries need to be developed. So there's a lot of things that we need to kind of sort out internally. And then I think, we'll be bringing those questions to you as a board, well, to the chair and the vice chair to kind of vet through that, but then ultimately to you as a board to see, here's the kind of the definite proposal and request from them and the process that they're saying they want to go through for the cleanup, and then a discussion and a decision on your comfort level with that.
It looks like they've done more than a cleanup. I mean, like I said, it's just like a skeleton. So do they now own it, or I'm just kind of confused about.
So yeah, it's privately owned. Between the property owner's name is Lan England, and then Bart Warner has been the one who's wanting to develop it. I couldn't tell you, I think it's been kind of that skeletal shell for quite a few years.
It's more than it used to be.
Okay.
It's been, it's been torn down more than it was for quite a while.
Maybe I can help a little bit with that. The building itself isn't really the issue for the cleanup. It's the soils.
Right.
And so in the meantime, they have stripped that building down to where they basically have bones to build on now.
Right.
So you're right, they've done pretty much what they can do with the building as far as getting it ready to redevelop. But the issue is going to be what it's going to cost to clean up all those soils, and that's what's going to stop this from developing, if anything, is that cost, because they've got materials in there that's going to be very expensive to dispose of. So, but they won't be doing anything else on the building. There's nothing else to do until they start building on top of that skeleton. Yeah.
And it's challenging. So we did, through our Brownfields Coalition, we approached them with some opportunities to kind of determine cleanup costs. They weren't interested in that. There's two different divisions that they'll have to work with through the Department of Environmental Quality to clean up. They have the division that works with non-radioactive contaminants, and then they have a division that works with radioactive contaminants. And that site has lead, arsenic, and radon. So there's coordination and collaboration that needs to be had between two different divisions of DEQ. And so we were able to get one of the divisions on the phone the other day to kind of help understand the process that they've proposed. And I think really the next step is just that we need to internally understand what that process is and what that means, and see if in the end, if we're comfortable with essentially dedicating tax increment financing to that process. It's they are proposing something that is different from the voluntary cleanup process that has been used in the past with the Hamlet developments, with Brodsky's development over in Fireclay as well. And so it's different for us, and we just want to make sure, again, as we move forward, that we're comprehending that adequately before we even bring it to the board for a decision.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Any other questions for Melinda? Okay. Thank you, Melinda.
No, I'm good.
Thank you.
Oh, I thought she said something. Okay. Is that it? Okay. We'll stand adjourned. Thank you.